trying yet again to get this to work without tons and tons of lag. Let me change something in the essential housing tools. Off. I don't want that to go be invisible. Alright. So where's my sign-in sheet? Because I should have one. This is an open house. Can't find it. Boo hiss! Let's go to a different house and see if that works. So what I wanted to do was to start out showing you guys how to set up portals, because portals are one of the things that are really simple but don't appear to be at first. You just need to know one thing about it. You know, there's something that I did wrong that I found confusing, and I just wanted to show you. Wonder if I ever, yeah, I saw it in my, I want to show you how it works, okay? So if we're doing EHT portals, what you do is you go into Essential Effects and you look at this portals section, okay? It's right under our effects. What you'll see is Calibrated Passage of Return, sorry about that, and then a bunch of different ones for the houses. What I think needs to be changed is I think this is a little too confusing, but essentially any of these down here are for your own home, your house to go to. So you've got, we'll say, here's my boulder tree, right? And I just selected that one. You can rotate it so that you can see the house. Or you can use the back of it, which is blank and looks blank. You can change the color, which can be really neat, size, all of those things. Okay, so let's do this. Go to my boulder tree, and it's as simple as that for your own houses. Just pick which house you want from underneath the portal section. Now, for anyone else to see those, you have to share it with them somehow. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I wanted to show you how the portals worked before we went into things changing. Okay, so now here we are in, oh good, there have been people here. This is my entry for the mental health thing. I think this is pretty clear what it is. So let's go over here and we'll try the next portal. So what you would do here is you'd have a passage of return. Let's say you have a big long house, right? And you get to the end of it and you're like, you know, Cold Harbor or Eleanor, and you're at the very end of the house and you want the person to be able to get back to the beginning. That's how you do it. And it doesn't ask for permission. It's just, you just go. Thing to remember about this is that there is an invisible one. So you can play tricks on people. If you have this invisible portal here, right? And you, boom, I walked into it, I got sent back to the beginning. So if you've got creepy mazes or other stuff that you want to mess with people with, mazes especially, that's really it. The last one to talk about is the Calibrated Portal. This can take you to anyone's home. This is what used to confuse me, because what I did is put my own at name and then I would do whatever home I wanted it to be. That doesn't work. You have to use one of the ones that are down here that are specifically named, you know, for the house if you want to do your own. If you want to do someone else's, I'm going to just use up Chrysia here because I know she wouldn't mind. And then you pick the house you set it, it'll have the image of whatever you want it to be, and then boom. Now it's taking me to Gracia's old mist file. That's how portals work, and it's pretty simple. Next, we're going to talk about how to share effects, because there are multiple ways of sharing effects, and it's really important to talk about them because I think there's a lot of confusion about it. So let's start at the beginning. No one can see effects unless they have essential housing tools installed. They can see, for example, a build that you've done. Like, let's say you built a house and you used like real items like Alanori floors or something. They can see what you've made with EHT. Speaking of, this probably was made with EHT. At least in part. They can see this stuff, but they can't see the effects. So any house that is mostly effects that needs them in order to be seen properly will be missing something. There will be something missing. You won't see these books, right? You won't see any other effects that are in the house aside from the things that aren't actually effects. I am not saying that correctly, but you get the idea. So, hey Zerbit. So, the thing that you need to do is you need to share it. So let's go somewhere that I can share the effects. Let's go to my Stainways because it's got a lot of effects. The way you can, let's back up a bit and say, if you want to see what your house looks like without your effects in it, there is a key that you can set in your controls to hotkey. I use the numpad 2, and when I press it, it turns all the effects off and then back on again if I hit it again, and that way you can see the house, what it looks like with and without effects, just back and forth so you can see what they see. I'll show you what I mean once this loads. Okay, so I want to remove the lookup because that was for JHeart. I don't care about that, so I'm deleting that. Now it's just this is my Stay Moist with tons of effects, right? So let me show you the house without it. The sky is gone. All the floors are gone. This is what the average person is going to see that doesn't have EHT installed. So it still works, but it's not as nearly as interesting as with EHT on, where you have Sheo showing up in reflections, or you have, whirling papers and whatnot. So the way to set that is you go into controls, and then you look for EHT, Essential Housing Tools, under controls here. And num2, as you can see there, my numpad 2. So show hide all effects, you just bind it to something, num2 for me, and that's as simple as that. You can toggle it on and off, as simple. Now let's talk about sharing effects, okay? So we'll start from here. In the essential effects, like little tab with the wand on it, you go there. You see this share bit? Excuse me. I'll just scooch this over a little bit so that it doesn't. Okay, you see publish to community, share with guilds, share with chat, or share with mail. Okay, so let's say your person has EHT, you know they do. They ask you to send them the effects. Well, what you're going to do is hit share with mail, and then you have to use the @ sign, and it will send that person all of your effects in the mail. And it's kind of neat looking. It ends up looking like a bunch of code when you open the mail, but the person getting it can see it's for Essential Housing Tools, and it just reads it and deletes them. It takes care of everything for you. Secondly, share with chat. This can be difficult because it depends on, if you put it in main chat, it can really spam the hell out of your guild or whatever. My suggestion is be in the same room or grouped with another person. So here's let's say zone. We could do zone chat here because this doesn't share the channel outside of this house. So we change to zone. You have to be in the channel you want to be in already. So if it's guild, which I don't recommend, you have to be in G1 or whatever guild it is. If it's zone, you have to be in /zone. Then you do share with chat. It'll pop up this information. Please remember that you may be asked to press enter more than once in order to send your data across multiple chat messages, depending on the number of effects that you have placed. For this reason, it's you use a more private channel whenever possible. So in this case, if someone was in this house with me and didn't have my effects, I could just do this and share in the channel and see this pop up. This is message 1 of 3. Let me move my chat channel so you can see what it looks like. If it lets me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, move it, babe. I can't show it to you. It's being stupid. There we go. Silence. Okay, this is what it looks like. You don't see it once you say it because it blanks it out for you, but this is what the code looks like. And like it says, you have to keep pressing enter until it's done. And now all the effects have been shared in zone, and everybody who is in zone now has them. So that's often the fastest way. Like, let's say you want to get HOTLC some of his effects. You know, he doesn't have the effects for your house. The fastest way, pretty much, is to go to the same house he's in and share them in the chat, like in zone or whatever. The next way to share is to share with guilds. This is an interesting trick. Let's look at what I'm talking about here. You see these here? There's some people who have notes. You see that? Like, for Cold Harbor, we've got visit my primary residence. Forbidden to sell soul gems following the incident. Just kidding. Don't kick, inactive at the moment. That kind of thing. They all have, if you have the possibility of having access to your own notes, which I know for a fact that ETU does not allow you to use your own notes, but I think all of my other guilds do. So what you do for that, to share to all of your guilds without being annoying, they don't even see this, is you hit share with guilds. And then ETU won't let you, but the rest will. So you hit which guilds you want to share with, and then you hit share. It will take approximately 5 minutes. Now, this is usually wrong. I've found that it takes a lot more than whatever minutes it tells you it's going to take. So what it's doing right now is it's actually sharing the effects in my notes, in my guilds. So that those notes that I showed you, it's sharing them right now. And what's nice about this is that you can even leave the house if you want to. You don't have to stay in the same house. So that's something. Let's go to a different house so that we can see how long that takes and whatnot. What is not published that I could publish? I think Hammer Death isn't published. We'll see. Look at the sadness. Had a coffee and spilled the last drips on myself. This is what you guys listen to. I apologize for that. So while I'm going to a different zone, it's still sharing. I don't have to worry about it. It doesn't interrupt anything. So this is probably the most complex bit to really understand, is that in order to see your effects, you have to share it with other people. There are multiple methods. So again, there's mail, there's sharing with your guilds, like I'm doing now with the notes. There's sharing over a channel, which is probably the fastest. And then you've got, okay, this is an open house. Then you've got the last, which is the community, which is the best. Of course, I saved the best for last. Now, what this means is anybody who has this a separate application. It's not part of EHT. It's a separate application. So what I'm talking about is this. Let's look at our computer screen real quick, because there's a bunch of things that you should know. So let's go to, hold on just a moment. Go to your folder where you keep your, you know where your add-ons are? So this is what we'll do. I'll show you. Go to where your add-ons are. See this? These are where my add-ons are. This is the Documents Elder Scrolls Online Live add-ons. Once you use Minion to install Essential Housing Tools, in order to get the community, you have to go into Essential Housing Tools and you have to find the community here. Essential Housing Tools Community. And then you have to install it using the EXE. This has been tested by multiple virus companies. There is no virus in it. Plus, Cardi works for the ZOS now. There's no way in hell you would infect your computer in any way. So you can run this. All this does is lets you see what is uploaded to the community. The community itself is Cardi's personal server that he pays for so that all of the people in the community can see each other's effects. So install it that way. Once you download, remember, download EHT normally through Minion. Once you've installed it through Minion, you go into that folder and you run the community EXE, and that will install the community. And what that lets you do, once you've installed that, and you know, obviously you have to enable it in add-ons when you come on. See that one? Here, I leave Saver off because it's too intense for my computer, but you have to have EHT on and you have to have the community on. You have both of these on and you are able to go to anyone's house that has effects and you will see them that have been shared to the community. So for example, I don't know if this person has effects or not, Kaiser Nick, but let's say, I know some of these do. So we'll go to one of these older ones. Matsu 808. They have, oh no, I can't go to that one. So there we go. Mary Jane the High Elf, Sleek Creek. So you can go to these homes even though you don't have the effects for them. And since they're uploaded to the community, you can see them. And you don't have to have the person online to share them with you. They don't have to go through all these different methods of sharing. They just, you know, once they're on the community, they're there until they delete them or whatever. So you can see them. So that is the best way to share your effects, in my opinion, is with this tool. So there's 28 effects in here. She's updated it since I've last been here. So what you can see is over here, look at this painting. This is a portal, like we were just talking about. This is a portal to Mary Jane's other house, her Hammer Death. There are other effects here as well. There's another portal here. And this one is to her Sugar Bowl Suite. And so basically what I'm telling you is she never shared this with me. This is all just, she put it up on the community. I went there. She's got a vampire. Now I can see it. Now it looks the way that she wanted me to see it. If that makes sense, I hope it does. So the last thing I'm going to show you is how to upload that information. This is interesting. I don't know what's going on with the skooma, but there's definitely something going on in here. You see these lights coming in and out? Those are lightning bugs. So she wants me to see it that way, and this is the way I'm seeing it. So I'm happy that's the way it works. So let's go to one of my houses that has a lot of effects. or even one that doesn't have a lot of effects. It doesn't really matter which I'd go to. So we'll go to Blackvine Villa. And just for the record, the FX data has now been shared with the selected guilds, popped up in my chat. That was a lot longer than 5 minutes, as I said. So you gotta figure that if you're sharing via guild, you know, let's say for some reason you don't want to get the community app, you're sharing via guild, it takes a while. You know, even though it estimates like 5 minutes, it takes a lot longer than 5 minutes. But this is the last way of doing it, is perhaps the best. So give it a moment to load. There. All right. So the last way to do it is to share with the community. Can be done either through this same tab. Excuse me, I didn't mean to click that. See this? Publish to community. You can either publish this way, or you go into the hub. The hub is part of EHT. You go to My Homes, and you click to whichever one you want to be in. You want to do Share Effects. Okay? You would pick Publish to Community. 2K. Now this is already an open house. I already have an ad out there, basically. I already have my name in one of this long list of houses where people are saying, hey, come visit my house, come see my house, right? So mine is already in there. I opened it a week ago, so it's already there in that one. And Blackvine Villa is somewhere in here. Where? My Homes, Blackvine Villa. 8 effects been open a week ago. I think everything's going to say a week ago because that's when Cardi added this little bit about when you started to open your open house. But basically, once you share the effects, it will ask you, are you sure you want to publish to everyone? And you go, yes. And then it said, okay. Normally what it says right after this is, do you want to open your house to the community for anyone to see? I've already done that, so it's not going to ask me that again, right? So I would say yes, I want everyone to see it. And that's the way you get this sign-in sheet. You do not get this sign-in sheet where you can see who's visited your home unless you actually share with the community as an open house. Otherwise, you don't get this. This is the benefit of having an open house. So I would hit confirm. It'll ask you if you want to reload UI right now. I don't. But, you know, when I get to the point where I log out tonight and the next time I come back in, it will upload all of my stuff to the community and update it. Anytime you update the effects, you'll have to re-upload them to the community. So let's say I changed something. I would have to, you know, after I came back in, change something, I would have to re-upload it. It's essentially like a saved version in the sky. Like, for instance, so let's say I add a Crispy Critters here, right? She's an NPC. No one else can see this. Once again, I would have to share it, or I would have to, you know, share it via mail, or share it via channel, or share it via guild note, or I would have to re-upload it to the community again to have them see her, because she's not live. I haven't shared her with anyone, so she's now gone. She won't be in the upload. Boom, we're done. So that's how you share. It's probably the hardest part of understanding EHT, but I think hopefully that makes some sense. And now we shall go along and do what we were trying to do earlier today before I lost all access. So I'll show you. We go through the hub, because this is a way to travel to anybody's home if they allow access. So in this case, I want to go to View Dang's home. I want to go to her Hall of Lunar Champion. But I could also pick her Tel Galen or her Rosie Lion or whatever. This is like, you know, let's say their primary, I think her primary is Hall of Lunar Champion. So how do I get to the other houses that I want to see? Like Grand Topal, I know, is where they have Housing's Finest Builders has all of their contests, mini build contests. How do I go there if her primary is her Hall of Lunar Champion? Through the hub. This is how. And it's as easy as typing /hub when you have EHT on. Works best with the community installed, but it does work without it. I hope that makes some sense. I'm going to turn this into a separate video so you guys can understand what I'm getting at with it. My explanation may not be the best, but it's verbal and it's an explanation, and I'm hoping that that is helpful. If you have questions, if you don't understand this, if there's something confusing about it, feel free to drop me a line in any way. Usually not through YouTube, because in YouTube I don't really pay attention to those messages. So either my Discord or Twitch would be fine, or in-game I'm on PCNA. Stabbity Doom, exactly as it says. Let me give you my Discord information, and you're all welcome. If you're a housing person, you should definitely join my Discord, because I think that it's really helpful. You can learn things, talk to other builders, and also it's a good place for laughs and friends and whatnot. So here's my Discord link, should you wish to join it. A Ravenhurst where someone... Yes, plenty of them. Hold on. There's one that's popping to mind. I keep lists. Ravenhursts. There's... There's other ways, but I'm only talking about EHT right now. We'll get to any other ways some other time, but this right now is for my EHT video, so I only want to talk about EHT. Let's go to... This is a good example of EHT portals, which is part of the reason why I wanted to talk about it right now. We had another lesson on text. So this is a good way for Guildmaster to have text telling you, you know, over here is how you get to our crafting sets. And what we have over here is all the portals to the contest homes. So we started with Arions before we crashed. Fiendish's Dawn Shadow we actually saw the other day. It was lovely. Felina Prima Grand Psijic. Monastery and Retreat Center with a meditation path for stations for each of the 13 star signs in order of the yearly cycle of the months they represent. Isn't that nice to have someone tell you what it is ahead of time? Like, I really like that you can use text to explain and then you go through the portal. And what's really nice about this is if your guildies aren't all in guild, let's say they have an alt in guild, like I have an alt in Housing's Finest, but my house is on my main. You can link to their main account and somebody doesn't have to figure out, how do I get to this person's house? Hey, Delisha. If you have all the portals in one place, it makes it simple. It's fairer, because like in DDA sometimes, people weren't going to my house because it wasn't my primary. They didn't know how to get, it wasn't my primary account in the guild, so they didn't know how to get to my house. So having the portals all set up ahead of time is a lot nicer for everybody if you're running contests. That's just my opinion, but I think it's a nicer manner. So hold on just a moment. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the commercials were freezing you up. I would really like it if, I think you're just getting commercials because you're not signed into Twitch, honestly. So, okay, so we just talked about that, and now we're at Housing's Finest Builders. I'm really curious as to why there's just a door out there. I kind of want to like swim out to that door. Whoa. I just rubber banded. Kind of want to swim out to the door and see what's out there. You know, it's like kind of spooky. There's a little 2010. Where's the one with the monoliths? That's the one that's reminding me of, like a monolith out in the middle of nowhere for no reason. It's interesting. Oh, this is pretty. Felina Prima, we looked at, wait, yeah, I'm probably their problem, is that, yeah, unfortunately, Griff doesn't like to log into Twitch at all. So he's never logged in. He doesn't count as a viewer for me. And gets stuck watching commercials. And I can't even gift him a free account because he won't log into Twitch. So he's a butt. If he actually logged into Twitch, he would get a free account and he wouldn't have to deal with commercials. Let's start a Twitch account. This way, you don't get commercials. So, I don't think, there's no effects in this house, but we did get here using effects. And that's interesting. Like, there's a lot of, hey Franca, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Look at this structures, these structures rather. Very interesting. Ooh, I haven't seen anybody sink it down in there before. So, I know I said this, but for those of you who weren't here, if there's anybody who has questions about EHT specifically, feel free to ask me in my Discord, ask me on the forums, ask me in-game, PCNA. My name's always Stabbity Doom. Just don't ask me on YouTube because there's so much spam that comes into YouTube that I can't actually, you know, see what's real and what isn't. I couldn't tell you what month of the year this is supposed to be, but I do get that these are supposed to represent different months of the year. These different stations that Felina Prima has done. It's like a meditation area. Very interesting. And I'm happy to talk about non-EHT topics as well. I think these are 2, but I'm not sure. It's too tall. That must be 2 fountains. That's interesting. But the thing is that it's easier for me to talk about EHT. Oh, wow, smart. So, under the book, they hid a hectahame. There's a hectahame buried in here. And so the book looks like it's glowing, right? Kind of cool. Very clever. I like using hectahames under things. Also, I'm happy to give you ideas. I will give you a new one. I don't know why it's being stupid. I don't know why it's being stupid. It's supposed to never expire. But apparently it did. There you go. That should work. Okay. So, hopefully that worked. Oh, look at the little deer. Still? I just produced that one. I literally just clicked produce with the Q3G. That shouldn't happen. Something's wrong with Discord if that's the case, because I literally just pressed the button and said make one. I'll see if I got it. Invite people. Here's another one. I just made it, so let's hopefully this will work. Tell me if that one is broken. If that one's broken, it's Twitch. I mean, it's Discord, rather. is fascinating. Look at the hovering Breton. Isn't that cool? You know, what's weird is that link was working this morning. I don't know why it stopped working. That's really odd. Okay, then it's Discord, because I literally just produced those two. So I'll deal with it later, but those should work. I don't know why it's being stupid. But in case you're able to look for name, look for the potato patch. I think I'm the only potato patch there is. So up we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Look at how high you can build in this. I don't know. Maybe it is you. I'm not sure, but I don't know what else it could be. It's got to be Discord not working right with something. But look at this weird. This is wild. Like all the different levels. I love when people build up high. It's like my favorite thing ever. I'm a sucker for people building up high. Quite pretty. I'm feeling a lot better. I went back to sleep again. I must have slept. Woke up this morning at like 7. Went back to sleep until... I can't even tell you. I must have slept at least 12 hours during the day. And not even counting overnight. It's just been the amount of sleep. Whatever's wrong with me is really kicking my butt. Oh, look, they built up in here, too. This is wild. There's just so much here. This is like a little restaurant almost. It's a gaming room, though. Oh, I got Proudspire today. I'm super happy. Finally finished the 30 quests and bought it with 1,000,000 gold. And I was so happy. I started moving some of my items into there. I guess I gotta start working on antiquities so that I can be like everyone else and have a nice museum of antiquities, but I have not yet. This is a nice little kitchen. Oh, that's new. Felina, that's a really good oven. I'm taking a screening of that. I'm gonna send that to Chrysaea. The keeper of the cobbles. So I call her. And then we've got a lovely little area over here. Let's watch me go splat. I didn't actually go splat. Yeah, I'll link it again. If I can get OBS to open. OBS is BS. Go. Go. It's being stupid. Here, I'll use this one. That should work. If it doesn't work, tell me. And then I will give up. And yell at Discord. And that's that. Ooh, I wanted to tell you guys, I think we could make something similar to the Blackreach stuff out of crystals. Let me tell you what I mean. We wouldn't be able to make them purple, but I think we could handcraft different color stuff. Okay, cool. Good to know it's just that being a butt. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. See these? These really pretty things here? They are geodes. And I've been thinking about it, and I think that we could, some of these, fake them and make them. Using the blue stuff, I was thinking we could take, maybe using AHT, possibly, But if you take the blue crystals, I think you could shape them, along with the big ones, into such a way as it would look like a geode, if, this is the kind I was looking for, if you used maybe white crystals around the edges like they did here, and then rock. See what I'm talking about? I think you could make it look like a Blackreach geode if you used whitish stuff like that around the edges. That to me looks like a real geode, and I think it would look really cool if you were able to do that. Just saying. Yeah, it would be really pretty, and I think if you did a whole house like that, especially, because we don't have the ability to make these yet. I'm sure they'll come along at some point, but we don't right now, so I think we'd have to fake it, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go back to, no! Let's look at another mental health build. Welcome, Zerba. So they dressed the naked Nord. It's very sad. Somebody pointed out that he did look like Thor. They dressed him really poorly, too. He looks like shit. What else did they do? They fixed the unkillable Draugr. I don't look so good right now. My makeup wore off while I was asleep, so I don't look very made up. So if anyone wants to do that, don't feel like you're stealing an idea from me. I highly recommend that you give it a shot. I would love to see what anyone could do with it. All right, Karenia and Cyrodiilic. The struggle to find the light when fighting depression. Oh, that's so sad. It's good though that we're talking about this. It can be really, really hard when you're depressed to see anything positive. So, wow. Yeah, I'd say this is pretty dark. I hate Banekin. I don't know why they give us Banekin. I just think they're awful. But I guess it works for a build like this. The gate looks really good too. This does not look like cyrodiilic. And over here we have some pretty stuff. This is really nice. I see. Being able to come through the dark section to get into the light section. But sometimes it's hard to tell that there's anything bright coming ahead. If you're down, it doesn't look like there's anything positive coming. This is all you can see. That's sweet. I get it. Hey, Eula. We're looking at Housing's Finest Builders. We're looking at their entries for the month. Oh, June contests are now open. I shall tell them to you. Snowmelt Suite Contest. Thursday, June 25th. Use the new in-room at the Lonely Troll to make something beautiful or creative. Hard to do with only up to 30 items. Make each item count. Solitude Home Goods. Make something out of nothing. June 30th. But the new Home Goods Furnishings in Solitude. These are in the Dragon's Hearth building southwest of Solitude Ray Shrine and are 100 to 1,000 gold apiece. These are J Heart's contests, by the way. You can participate even without Grimoire, but you'll need a friend or guild trader. Top, it doesn't say as many as you can use as many as you want. Those are the two contests. So snowmelt and using vendor items from Solitude. I don't know if I'll enter or not. I have to think about it. This is Lushora. I think we looked at this earlier today. This house is a representation of the mind. When dealing with mental health challenges, the outside is what everyone sees, but the inside was... Ah, this makes more sense. When we saw this earlier today, the outside was all pretty gardened, and the inside was all Daedric rock, like sticking out, looking deathly and scary. So we did see that one, but it makes sense now. Money shot. Holy Lunar Champion. Temple to the Divines. Of little faith can go a long way for your mental health. Depends on who you are. Right? Okay. Money shot usually does some really nice houses. For which? For J Hearts or for my Discord? So this is, oh, that's an interesting look. It looks like Azura has the chandelier on her head, doesn't it? If you meant my Discord, here you go. As for J Hearts, it's on the forums. I'm not sure where yet. I haven't had a chance to look. I was just... Yeah, it's neat the way that they did it like a hat. Isn't that cute? Ooh, pretty. And here we go. We have a little bit of what I'm talking about. I think this is really cool. I mean, they covered up the well, this is still here, but it looks like it's meant to be here with these crystals shooting out light like lasers. That looks really neat. And then the moon vines with coral, moon coral, and the black walls. It looks really good. The blue is really carried through. That's kind of funny. They look like astronauts or something. This must be one of the new antiquities. I'm so jealous. Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I need that. I don't have any of these. I gotta start really searching for antiquities, but I've been distracted. Okay, so this is flippin' gorgeous. And I don't usually like this section, the halls. Wait. This is the halls of Colossus, not the mains, not Moongrave Fane. This is impressive as hell. It's bigger than I thought it could be. That's enormous. They've completely reskinned it. And then they have all of these different offerings to the different gods. I think this is Juliana's. I'm not 100%. Who is this? No, this is Juliana's, so Orla Gold. I don't remember who that was. And this is Akatosh. Interesting. I wonder if they're like picking items just specifically for the gods, so like Mara. Is this another Mara? This is another Mara. I think they're the same. I don't remember who that is. I don't know their symbols so well. It is, isn't it? Zenithar, who's all about the monies. So these are different places to pray for different things. Well done. And this is the bottom of the Vardenfell map. And buried into it are these orcish coins for the walls. And this is an antiquity. This guy right here. And then, oh, I forget who the egg beater is. Look at all these offerings. They're like really neat. Anvil Xanathar, I knew that one, but the egg beater I can't remember. I love this tall papa's lamp. That's another one. And this little small guy here is also one. So is this knife. It's a bunch of antiquities. There's the dwarven cube. Pretty sure that is. All the chalices. It's just different ways, I guess. I mean, not that I'm saying this is bad, but it's a good way to show off all the different antiquities. Is this the snow? Okay, this is not that. Yeah, they really did. And well done. You know, I feel like some people, that's all they've been doing since the game came back up. And I really wanted to get the quest lines done. I wanted to get Solitude. I wanted to get the house in Solitude. So for me, it was more important to do the quest line than it was to do any of this antiquing. But I guess that's my next goal. Also, I mean, it's not like it's going away. Oh, look at the kitty. I mean, we're going to have time to work on these antiquities. They're not leaving. Here's another one. We have plenty of time to just go as fast or as slow as we want. We don't need to rush. You know, I think a lot of people feel like they have to get it right away. Take your time. Gives you something to do over time. So that was Money Shop. So that was Faith. Am I still rude, Griff? I would like to know if I am still rude. Swinks! Okay. There we go. We're looking at the Mental Health Month, Awareness Month's entries for Housing's Finest Builders builds. And I had not seen some of these. Some of these I saw because they were open houses. Nosferatu, a tribute to Mara, building a healthy marriage. Oh, to the left. Okay. To the left, to the left. I guess they wouldn't have all your belongings in a box to the left in a house dedicated to a healthy marriage. Just saying. I'm not funny. I amuse myself. That's what's important, right? Nobody likes you, Griff. You're mean. Okay. To the left. Ooh, Purdy! Look at this. Nosferatu always does just such amazing builds. I hope that folks listen to this and intend to add these as open houses, because it would be a shame to not see such beautiful, beautiful houses for a lot of people. So we've got, obviously, Depella here, being beautiful. Mara should be first, because Mara is about love and all of that, and she is, in fact, first. Whereas Depella is essentially Venus / sexier. I mean, it's kind of sexier. And we've got the wedding stuff, and to this is probably the priest here, or whatever officiant they have. This is lovely. But in the back, what is Ferrari doing? Is she plotting to object to the marriage? I would like to know what her deal is. Ferrari is dangerous. I see some sneaky. This is beautiful, though. Lovely wedding. Lots of fairies. Nixads. And this is probably a good spot for photos. I like it. Good job. I did not laugh. Griff, you watching me live, you can tell I didn't laugh to your bad joke. Griff sent me a message saying something, and I did not laugh at it. I'm telling ya. Come on. Okay, let's look at the next one. I'm starting to wonder if mine wasn't included for some reason. But, okay. No, there's mine. Stabity Doom. Stabity's anxiety since circa 2016. I've shown you this before. I think it's obvious what that is. So, Sea of Stars, Thieves Oasis. It's important to take care of your mental health and find time for yourself. This is the place to do so with peaceful oasis, pools, a sauna, a lounge, and a restaurant. Enjoy with friends or alone. Not sure, but I could have sworn that perhaps I've seen this, but follow the candles. So I kind of figured that people were going to depict nice places to relax, like meditation centers, but I'm actually really happy to see that there's a mixture. We have some of those, but we also have different takes on things. Like the religious take was interesting, the strong marriage was interesting, and then also people depicting what depression feels like is super impressive to me, because that requires so many different layers of artistry. You know, it's like, to even be able to talk about it is hard, let alone depicting it. Oh, so these must be the candles. Who turned their candles off? Oh no, I'm not going to sit here and turn them all on, but that isn't right. You know, this happened to me with DDA. I hope this wasn't done to sabotage. I'm thinking maybe it was a mistake. If all their lights are off, that can't be, not all, a lot. This is strange, folks. I'm not feeling good about this, because that made me super mad. So this was entirely handcrafted, because as you know, Thieves Oasis does not look like this. This is lovely. And look at the way they buried, you know, the moon vines under the water. I always love that. So this is down by the water. And they've created this. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. And they hid the Psijic sigil underneath there. A little sauna room. Well done. And then a little harp area, and this is just so pretty. Look at that. How did they manage to get just that perfect angle on that waterfall? Make it look almost square. It's wild. Yeah, no kidding. Me too. I really... Oh, you should put another one in there. You should put another Psijic thingy in there. That would look good. Oh, this looks very relaxing. Sit by the fire, warm up a little bit after taking a dip. I'm really not liking that I have this feeling that somebody's turning off all their lights on them. That's really kind of scaring me, because it makes a big difference whether their lights are on or off. Really concerned. Can't even turn that one on. How awful. They didn't even do it consistently. They just turned off some of them. Not a happy savvy. So, I think this is another one, another wedding, like, except you get wedded in front of Azura instead of in front of Mara, Well, maybe the bells are meant to be off. I'll leave those off, but the lighting surely wasn't. It looks really nice with the lights on. This is great. This makes me want to get this house, doesn't it? Doesn't it make you guys want to have this house now? It's not even consistent what they've turned off. Yeah, I mean, Ariane's is also just tremendous. This is fantastic. I love what they've done here. What is nice, though, is that I can kind of track where I've been by turning on the lights. I hope they understand that I'm doing this because I'm trying to help, not screw with them. Because I do not think they intended to have these all off. And it's like now the second or third house I've seen where somebody has gone through and done this. I don't know if they think they're being funny or what, but they're not being funny. And I forget to put things on limited visitors sometimes, and this is the problems that you run into. But in general, this is a lovely little party area. I think this is it. Okay. Did I go the wrong way, or is there just one way? I almost fell off. Okay, so this is the wedding section. And this is what? This is the sitting section. And this is like a little... Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it, but it's hard to tell for sure. Is there another way up that I perhaps missed? This should be like a test, right? Like, find and turn on all of the lights that some jerk face turned off. To screw with somebody's build that was really good. I'm starting to wonder if people are just jealous. Like, you know, the really good builds, turning off all the lights in them because they're jealous. I don't know if that's the truth, but it certainly seems like it. Sadness. Oh, look at the piggy! I totally missed the piggy. I think that's it. Alright, I'll just turn these on and then we'll move on to the next one. There. Can't follow the candles if the candles aren't on, so. And away we go. Okay. Well, I mean, it seemed like somebody was really messing with that person. It was obviously gorgeous with the lighting. The lighting was so intentionally, I mean, it was supposed to be beautiful and candlelit. And somebody did it to me. I had a house in a contest, and they turned off, it was a one-room house. It was Kragan home, and it had a fountain in the middle. It had the moon fountain, and they turned it off on me. And it ruined the whole view of the build. Like, the build, it's just, I was so mad. I was so hurt and upset that I don't know why people mess with each other like that. And so I don't like to leave it when I see people do that. I always want to fix it. A representation of depression and anxiety make people more aware of this dangerous mental illness. Tarakas. I don't know. Is anxiety and depression a mental illness? I suppose it is. But I always kind of thought it was so natural. I don't know really hardly anyone who doesn't have at least some depression in their lifetime. Anxiety is a state of living for me. It's my job in life. I was a perfectly good being, and well, I've been through it. Came out the other side, and sometimes I get it every so often. Okay, anxiety and depression. That's anxiety right there. Yes, I see that. It's like a fear being chained up. I get it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This makes sense. You know, it's been hard since 2016. I'm constantly either anxious or depressed. Some mixture of the two sometimes. Social anxiety. You guys see it? And then this one must be self-harm. I was wondering why it had a flower on it. I think it's self-harm. I think they're cutting. Financial anxiety. Anxiety over money. I think that's what they're going for. Feeling trapped, I guess. Or death, fear of death. Bad dreams, night terrors. Could be a lot of things. Food anxiety, Lord knows. Why do I make people anxious? I don't make anybody anxious. I'm just a potato. I feel attacked. Okay. Fear of being looked at? It must not be. I know. It's silly though. Death? Death is scary. This is very creative. They really thought this through. You know, it has all different representations of what's really going on in your mind, or what kind of fears people have. I like that. It's pretty creative. So that social anxiety is just dead on. I wish I knew what all of them were, but I think I got enough that I can see the point of where they're going with this. Really good, actually. Spicy raffle grand prize this week is 30 Gloomspore crates. Jesus. That makes me want it. But then again, I should just go and buy them from TCE or something, the Crown Exchange. But I'm so lazy. I hate dealing with it. I shouldn't be so lazy. Wednesday morning, Hollow Lunar Champion. We all travel the same journey, although we might experience it a little bit differently. This worries me. Wednesday morning always does really dark, twisted, slightly scary homes. So I'm a little bit concerned how scary this is going to be. But we'll see. Maybe it won't be scary at all. Maybe it'll be fine. I shouldn't worry. too funny. Okay. Wow. This is lovely. Smoking head. This is the opening to... Oh, wait. This doesn't even look like Hollow Lunar Champion. This is wild. It's very smoky in here. Whoa. What did she put in her dead cat? People leaving their dead cats around everywhere. Okay, you can't open the dead cat. That sucks. I like to open the dead cats and see what's inside. That's kind of twisted, isn't it? Huh. This is a combination of different things. See the witch hands? And then these are like at least 2 different Argonian things buried in there. I'm a little confused. That's a Khajiit marker, but it also has a Molag Bal thing in the head. Or the Daedric sconce. So the kitty head is on fire? Wind bells. Molag Bal, dragons. Is the place we're all going to be in one direction actually hell? Oh my god, this is gorgeous. I don't think this is hell. This is beautiful, but I don't think it's hell. Wow. So you've got all of those vines, plus these guys on the floor, covering Daedric rock with blue crystals. This dude, I don't know what he's doing. Mushrooms. The pretty blue mushrooms. And then you've got those things coming through the back of Daedric rock. Like stars. I can't interpret this. It's really cool though. Super beautiful, but I have no idea how to interpret it. I wish I had her interpretation to tell me. So the rest of it's closed off, so that was that. It's really interesting, but I don't know. I don't want to like put meanings to it if... Ow. Oh, excuse me. I don't want to assign any meaning to it if it doesn't mean that. But I don't get it. Where are we all going? Is that like death? The light down at the end of the tunnel? I don't know. This may have been the last one, in which case we'll go to mine and end there or something. So, was that one? That was Wednesday morning. I think I got all of them except for the ones that I had already seen. And then this is mine. Anxiety since 2016. I hope this doesn't offend anyone. But I wanted to depict what actually makes me anxious and unhappy and depressed. If the year doesn't tip it off, I think you'll get it in a moment. Load your boat. That is my depiction of my anxiety since 2016. I hope it is clear what I meant by this. Yeah. I know Cardi got it. He thought it was amusing. So I promised Cassandra I'd look at her Grand Topal. Yeah, I don't mess around. I was dead serious. This is the poison coming out of his mouth. Bar is a rat standing on the scales of justice, and McConnell is a turtle standing on the Constitution. Pooping on it, I'm sure. That's exactly what I think. Isn't it though? I don't know. I wasn't sure if I was angry or relieved. I was scowling the entire time I made it. I was thinking, if I keep my face like this, I'm gonna get worse. I'm gonna get like wrinkles. But I was literally scowling the whole time. So this is Cassandra, 692 items out of 700, and Cassandra asked me to come visit one of her this home. Grand Topal, yeah, what's this? So I promised her I would. Caffeinated also asked me to, but Caffeinated, I don't know if she still wants me to come visit her home, because I think she quit. But I'm not positive. So Caffeinated, if you're watching this, can you let me know whether or not... This is interesting. What is this, like water polo? Let me know whether or not you want me to still come visit your home. I don't want to intrude if you don't want anybody there. This is so fascinating. Look at all these little builds. Oh, wow. Look at this pool. I love when people make pools out of this stuff. You know, the ocean here is so perfect for making little pools. Hi, Tristorm. We're looking at Cassandra's house. She asked me to come visit. Aww. That's very romantic. Nice to cuddle in the water. All these mangrove trees. Lovely. Really pretty. I like the hedges. I wouldn't have expected to have the hedges here, but it's great because it gives it privacy. Aww. See it? The shell, the clam shell with the pearl on it? It's cute. It's very well lit by those two coda flowers too. I think that's clever. Because it gives it that oceany kind of color, that green. There's all these little hidden cool spots in this house. Like secrets. You ever see the sunset in this house? It's incredible. Look at that. It starts blue, goes to that beautiful violet. Then it goes red and orangey. And then it goes dark. The sunset in this house is just one of the best things about it. I've taken so many pictures of just the sunset, nothing else in the picture. It's like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I want another picture of it. I'm so bad, Lily, today. I think people might want to leave, though. That's not a good sign. So, is this gonna eat me? I'm thinking I'm gonna get eaten here. I'm a little scared to go into the eating. There's something in here. Like, this is some sort of... I'm not sure. Wonder if it's all connected or not. There's a lot of hedges in this house. Oh, I think I figured out what was causing me the buffering before. Every time OBS updates their program, which is the streaming program I use, it completely loses all my settings. So it lost my settings, and then that's why. Oh, it's an arrow, right? An arrow to the other place, I think. I'm not positive, but I think that's what that is. What is this one? Just a circle? I'm confused. Okay, this is interesting. Sorry about this morning, though. That was really annoying when it just dropped off like that. I didn't expect anything in these rooms after all of that stuff outside. It's kind of impressive that she managed to fit anything in these upper sections especially. It's neat. I never thought of building a second floor in these little huts, but they really do lend to it because of the way the huts are built. It has these little side sections on the interior that hang down, so it almost makes the second floor itself without you even doing anything. See what I mean here? See these? These almost make a second floor themselves. These little extensions out. So, it's an obvious thing, but a thing that was so obvious I didn't notice it. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes, there's a ton out there. Goodness. You see that? Off in the distance? The big thing. It's almost like, it looks almost like a roller coaster or something. It's so complex. You can sleep out here. Sleep on the little bed here. I gotta tell you though, I think the mosquitoes would be bad. I mean, most places like this have mosquitoes. And sleeping without even a mosquito net would be yuck. But we're gonna pretend like Tamriel does not have mosquitoes. We only have those Kotugavas that are huge. I think that's what we'll pretend. Okay. Diving board! Whee! How is it I've seen so many pools and I've rarely seen a usable diving board? That's awesome. We need pool noodles. I swear to God, we need to figure out something that could be a pool noodle, and we need it in the pool. Because I like hitting people with pool noodles. I pretty much assume that's what pool noodles are even for, is just to smack each other around with it. Because, like, I don't think they have any other purpose. They're not very floaty. Uh-oh. Well, using this upside down is a good way of dealing with it. It doesn't look as scary. Look at the gold under there. She hides things on the ground. It's pretty neat. I love the jellyfish. They'll sting you though. All the little items on here. This is so complex. I really like this, Cassandra. This is really neat. And these are the outsides. Reminds me a lot of Greek vamps. Islands. His kind of tell a story. It is not a happy story, I don't think. What's back here? Usually Debella or Azura is the goddess, is the Daedric god of roses. So if you put roses around her. The birds work in water plants. I don't think the imperial statues are specifically flowery. Oh, that's interesting. The new Gwar one would work in water plants. I think any water plant situation you have could work with that. Oh, this is super pretty with the red ivy all around it. Watching the sunset from here. Trying to think of hold on. You want, what, trying to remember ones that are specifically, I think Ballet Ceres Linchel might be good for you, or no, Snow Fairy Wings, her Linchel. If it allows me to go there. She has statuary, if I remember correctly. Nope, she won't let me go there. Gosh, there's a lot of different gardens with statuary. It's hard to say. Let me see something. This is that picture I was thinking of from Snow Fairy. Oh, it's Delphinia, not Snow Fairy Wings. Okay. Let me change my view for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about better. Picture, picture, picture. Cancel. Remove. Go away. Hold on. We're getting there. It's never as quick as I want it to be. Capture. Outsource. Changing. Screenshot. Done. This is the picture I was thinking of when I said that. We've got the Debella garden picture. That is one thing I was thinking of. Let me see. What are the other ones? Here's one with, what's his butt? Vivek. This is Trey Bear's Vivek. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm doing my best to find them so we don't have to go through each and every one. So I'm looking kind of quickly. And then this is Foxglove. He also used Azura Shrine. And I think that's all I got right now. This is Ballet Ceres. She did an incredible sculpted garden, I would say. It looks lovely at night, as a matter of fact. But really, you could incorporate almost any statue. Oh, this is lovely. There's no reason why you couldn't. Just plop one down and then put flowers around it. But I do like the idea of putting it with things that make sense. So like Azura would make sense with roses. And then you've got you know, something like the water birds, the ibises with water makes sense. And you have ibises. I think ibises are water birds. What have I done around flowers? I'm trying to think. Statuary and flowers. Give me a thought, a second. Trying to save us all some time. It's a good way to get ideas, you know? I save so much. I really do. There's so many things, like, this is what I did with Azura and Lynchel, but that's not really floral. That's just something. It doesn't look like this anymore, but the ibises are still there. I saved it as an old version of one of my builds that I no longer use. I just put things by flowers a lot of times, like this imperial statue sitting here praying next to the flowers. Yeah, you can. Then sometimes I just put flowers at the foot of different statues. That works. What else do I've got? We've got this one, which is kind of like it's floral in that I have coral all around it. That was the goal. I don't know if that explains anything. But that's because I did some research, and the colored rooms are actually look like that. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Yeah. Well, then water. Water makes sense. Alright, we'll do one rando and then we'll call it. If there is a rando to do. There may not be. Because you can see everything is so of intellect. Nick. So this will give us some ideas, because the snowmelt suite being decorated is one of the ones that J Heart's going to do in this next month. Load your boat. This is a really tiny space. It's hard to imagine of intellect. Just what they were thinking. Oh yeah, precision building. Once you get used to it, it's super nice. Well, written by the same dude though. That was written entirely by Cardi. Cardi did that entire builder. This must be an antiquity that looks like a whale. And there's a moth in the corner. So I guess this is it, folks. Good luck with your small apartments. This is good. Alright, so I will see you all tomorrow with more content, and have a good one. Happy building.